been thinking a lot about where this channel is going and looking at my numbers from the last year, and I thought I'd share them with you if you're interested in that sort of thing. It was actually a how much money I made on YouTube video by Ali Abdal that inspired me to give this a go. So maybe if you're interested in fitness and building a fitness channel, this video will help you. If you're new here, on this channel I help prepare your body for epic adventures. So I like to do ultra marathons, and on this channel I share those adventures, but I also share the accessory work and the strength training and things like that that you need to do these big massive adventures out in nature. With my training videos, I often talk about starting with your goals, because your personal goals will really dictate the sort of training that you need to do as an individual. And I think the same is true for YouTube. I don't have big aspirations of having millions of followers and earning millions or anything. My goal is that I want to earn enough so I can work a little bit less in my day job so that I can train more and then teach people more. But as you will see, I'm a long way away from that actually coming to fruition. Let's get into the earnings. There are 4 key revenue streams that I've built into the channel. So the first is YouTube AdSense. That's where I get paid for the 5-second ads that go at the beginning of the videos. The next is affiliate marketing, which is where I'll share a link for a product I like and use, and I'll get a little kickback if you use that link. The third is sponsorship, and the fourth is I've built my first digital products this year, so I'll go through all of those. Okay, so this is my analytics for the year. My total revenue was £2,596. Not huge when you factor in the amount of time I spend on this stuff, which I'll go through in a little bit later. One thing I want to show you, if we look at the bottom here, you can see when I uploaded, I haven't been super consistent this year. At the beginning of the year, I was quite consistent. Then there's a big gap around March to June time. That was when I actually worked really hard to build the digital product, which I'll tell you about in a little while. But then in June, there were a couple of uploads, but one of those was for a 100k mountain ultra that I did, which I actually DNF'd, and it really knocked me and just took me a while to recover from, physically and mentally, and I kind of lost my mojo a little bit for a while. So then there was a gap of making videos. Then I kind of got back into a bit of a rhythm, but then in my day job I had some recruitment I needed to do, and that just blew my brain. So through the end of the year, I really haven't been very consistent at all. And then I decided to take December off completely. So I haven't really been very consistent, and that really shows in my video upload, but then also in the revenue. So next up we have affiliate marketing. Now I've only actually got one active affiliate link. Now that's for the Shocks headphones that I use. I've used them for years, and then they reached out to sponsor one of my videos, which was really cool because I just love them as a product and a brand. It was an absolute no-brainer to work with them. The amount I've earned from this, bearing in mind the first video I watched with Ali Abdal, he earns hundreds of thousands of pounds a year from his affiliate marketing. And I thought, oh cool, this will be a good revenue stream. I've earned 0 this year, and this has been an interesting lesson. So I think, first of all, not many people are clicking the link. That's because I'm not really a product review channel. Say you specifically looked for a review of those headphones, and then you liked my video, you bought it through that. That's fine, but I'm not a review channel. I'm not making single videos about these headphones. I'm just mentioning them in the story of whatever else I'm talking about, so people aren't really in the mindset to be buying some headphones. Second of all, this is a lesson. That link, I've only since found out, since making the deal with the brand, only works in the UK. So I've had people contact me from Europe and from America saying the link doesn't work. They wanted to actually buy them, but I don't get any kickback from that because I didn't realize before negotiating that it was only a UK link. So that's my bad. I now know that if other brands I want to work with, I need to figure those things out ahead of making a deal with them. So then on to sponsorships. I've had 3 sponsors this year. I've had the Bob and Brad Physio Group sponsor me to highlight their new massage gun, which is actually a really cool massage gun. I don't use massage guns often, but when I do need them, that's a nice handy little compact one that I can take with me quite easily. And then, as I said, Shocks headphones, they not only gave me the affiliate link, which has earned me 0, but they also sponsored one of the videos. And then more recently, I've had the brand's 10,000 reach out. So I won't go through what they paid me individually. I don't think that's fair to them. But the total sponsorship money that I've had this year is £1,556. So that's fine. I've never had any sponsors before. So this is my first year of accepting sponsors. I only work with brands that I think are decent and products that I would actually use. So that's not 0. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with sponsorships going forwards. We'll see. The one thing it does do when you take on sponsors is it puts a pressure and a timeline for things. And when my life is so busy with kids and the rest of my business, then sometimes that pressure isn't particularly helpful. And at the same time, it's not making me loads of money. So I'm not sure it's really worth it at the moment. I'd probably just be better off for a while, just not accepting sponsorships and then just working on my own timeline with the videos. We'll see. Now, next up is my products I built. Because I'm talking a lot about ultra running and I'm a big believer in doing all the accessory work like strength training or mobility work that is useful just as a human being, let alone as an ultra runner, I started to get lots of comments on my channel that people just didn't know how to strength train. So I was getting this more and more, what do I do for strength training? So this was my idea for my product. So I created a product called Mountain Strong. I love running in the mountains. I do all this training to make my joints and muscles and tendons more resilient. I sell that at £27. It's a one-off fee. And over the year, that has brought in a total of £1,090. Now, I had no expectations on how well this would do this year. It feels like a very valuable experience that I've had this year trying to build this product. But the amount of time I put into it, £1,000 for a whole year isn't huge. So again, I need to go back to the drawing board on what I'm going to do with that in the future. So my total earnings for the year with my YouTube AdSense, my big fat zero from affiliate marketing, the sponsors of just over £1,500, the products just over £1,000. My total is £5,242. £5,242. Okay, but this is where we need to talk about all the other things that have gone on along the year. So my GoPro, which I use for my ultra marathons, that was a GoPro Hero 9. That was starting to get really glitchy. So I've now switched to using a DJI Action 4. And I much prefer that, by the way, if you're into action cameras. And that was £400. I spend about £50 a month, so £600 in the year, on software that helps me with YouTube and the products, the Mountain Strong program that I've created. But if we go back to 2023, and I'll show you my YouTube ad earnings there, it was actually a teeny bit more. So in 2023, from just AdSense, and that was actually my only income in 2023, that was 2,605, a little bit more than 2024. But what I want to show you is at the end of the year, in 2023, I had a little flurry of success. So I put a couple of videos out that did quite well. I made one video titled The Secret Ultra Runners Want You to Know, and that did pretty well by my standards. Then I ran 100 miles around a track, and then I did a high rocks, and I had this little flurry of success. Going into Christmas of 2023, I thought, you know what, I really want to give this YouTube thing a go. I want to give it my everything. But a real big bottleneck for me was editing. It takes so much time. I'm a self-taught editor. I'm pretty terrible. And I thought I'll commit to a year to getting some editors. I'd found a connection, found some really good editors that I'm super happy with, but they cost £750 a month. So that is £9,000 a year. So my total expenses with my £400 camera, my £600 software expenses, and £9,000 editing fees, my expenses were £10,000 in the year. Now, I put that through my business. My business can absorb it, but it's not ideal that I'm in net negative 4,758, negative nearly 5,000. So the way I look at last year with the editing in particular was it was an experiment. I tried my best. I wouldn't have been able to make the digital products myself, so they really helped me with that. The quality of their edited videos is way better than what I can do myself. But I'm just looking at this now. I really gave it everything, but with everything else going on in my life, there were still big gaps in what I could create for YouTube. And when you've got that £750 a month coming out every month, and I wasn't able, just with headspace and energy and time, to actually make as many videos as I would like, I'm looking at this now going, I need to rethink that. So next year, what am I going to do? I'm going to not have editors. At the beginning of the year, I won't take on sponsors either, so I'll just feel a bit more free in my head, but it will just be a little bit more sporadic. I don't have to aim at that weekly upload because I won't be taking on sponsors. I won't be having the £750 a month coming out every month no matter what. And I'm just going to keep going. I still see YouTube as, first of all, fun. I just enjoy it. Second of all, I know it's a really long game. There are people like Ali Abdaal who made it a huge success within 3 years. He did that I'm not making excuses, but he did that without kids, without a relationship. And yes, he did it with a full-time job, but you know, the different people are better at different things. He was just really good at that. I think I'm probably more typical of the majority. It doesn't make much money. It's really hard. You have to just keep going for a really long time. But I still see it as a worthwhile project, and I am going to keep going. So I hope that was interesting. My next videos will be more about training, but if you want to see some previous versions, you can see these two here. And until next time, happy training.